Sir, thank you very much. Keep it going for Andrew and everybody else. Mike, the good version of Ted Nugent. Very impressive, Mr. Williams. You're bringing that look back and giving goodness to it. And Loretta, what an inspiring speech, and just to be in your presence is really cool. I am going to do a little part entertainment, because you deserve it, and then part praising you. Most of everything else I have to say is to praise you and to hopefully motivate you for tonight and tomorrow. Really, I'm here for dessert. First of all, when I'm introduced by another bald white guy, I'm reminded of the struggle. There are a lot of women in here, there are a lot of people of color in here, but you don't know our struggle. And that struggle was really brought up to the forefront today as we were surrounded by teenage cheerleaders. And the problem with being a bald, heterosexual white American is it's a creepy look. It is a creepy, stand up here, Andrew, get back up here. I mean, honest to God, the suit makes you look more acceptable, it does. But picture Andrew and I in a children's park at 10 o'clock in the morning, in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt and a cup of coffee. Yeah, exactly, thank you, yes. Seriously, I have 2 daughters. I bring them to the park. The truth about the way you look, folks. You can relate to this. Everybody can relate to this. You really want to know, don't look at a picture of yourself or in the mirror. You really want to know, have a child draw you. Kids will find your most insecure quality and draw the hell out of it. You're 5 pounds overweight, not to a child. You're a fat circle. What? Who is that? That's not me. I just lost 20. What are you doing? Then they tell you who you look like. My niece drew a picture of me and told me I look like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, which I'm always hoping no one laughs at. Really? She's covered with, oh my God, that's true. That is true. Seriously, look at my forehead. I can't even go to church anymore. If I went to a Catholic church on Ash Wednesday, I think the priest would be like, he's here. Get the paint roller. I'd walk up to the altar and be like, go with God. I'm not leaving this church. I'll have a helicopter trying to land on my face, Father. Back off. It is, and you know the other thing I noticed, did the pilot talk to you, Loretta? The pilot gets on. Who are these pilots? They're the most confident human beings ever. They're terrible public speakers, but they're so confident. Everybody that's come up and spoken has been great, has been inspiring, not a lot of ums and ands, a lot of off the cuff. I love to see that. Why is it that the pilot gets away with so many ums and ands and you still hang on their every word? Why? Because they control your life. You will take off your headphones, you'll pay attention, and you will just sit there and listen no matter how bored. Every pilot's like, all right, are we pushing back here a little bit? Sorry, we had to de-ice the plane. Hey, could you explain de-icing a little bit, by the way? Does that mean the plane is going to freeze and break apart? What exactly? And we'll be out of here in about 15 minutes. All right. Like, why am I listening to this guy? Just fly, shut up and just fly the plane, sir. The worst, though, is when he ends on an This happened. We're like 35,000 feet in the air, and you hear the pilot gets on and goes, we'll be landing in Daytona in about 50 minutes. That's 50. Did the pilot just die? What just happened? Why are you interrupting me? And by the way, like most of you probably, I fly coach economy. Can they make those seats any smaller? I actually flew down here in Delta. They have a new policy where someone actually has to sit on your lap, which is still $400 round trip too, by the way. Read to you a text that I sent my wife, just to command your respect. And I want you to realize that I am the romantic one in the relationship. I am pretty much the woman by every traditional role in my relationship. I feel so bad for my wife. Basically, I'm a good husband, but a terrible roommate. Like, there's a lot of guys I can tell in here that can fix things. Sir, right here, can you fix things in the green shirt? Are you handy? Yeah. My wife tells us, we lived in New York City for 15 years, in an apartment with a super who came to fix things. We buy a home, which was a mistake for me. And we're 2 weeks in and the garage door breaks. My wife goes, "Can you go take a look at the garage door?" I said, "I can take a look at it. Just like you or anybody else can take a look at it. I can't do anything about it." She goes, "Just go take a look at it." So I go take a look at it. And I come back upstairs, yeah, it's broken. It's broken. It's not going up or down. So she's like, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "Build a room? I don't know. Maybe just turn that into a room now, perhaps, because we can't get that fixed." And here's another argument we had recently. I don't know, she's not here, so hopefully you'll side with me. I don't know if you guys do this or not to save money, or to see if it makes any sense. Do you guys use the plastic sponge thing with the body wash and shower? Or, yeah, is that not the greatest invention because you can't get the lather out? Does anybody else? So my wife says to me, "Hey, you're doing laundry." I said, "Yes." She said, "Put the sponges from the shower in there." I said, why would I wash the sponges? Because they're dirty. I go, "No, I would argue that they're the cleanest things we have." "Why would you argue that?" "Because they're constantly covered in tons of soap. I mean, they're so good you can't get the soap out of them." You ever use these things? Before you go to work, you can't get you keep squeezing and rinsing. At some point you make a judgment call, you're like, "I'm going to be late. I'm just going to have to leave it there soapy." So when she's like, "Clean the sponges," so of course I do it. I listen, I do what I'm told. I wash these plastic shower sponges in the washer, but I'm a man, I'm an idiot, and I threw them in the dryer and they melted. So I take them out of the dryer and they're melted on this little plastic ball. I go, "Here's your sponges." She goes, "Why would you dry them?" I'm like, "Why would I wash them? We're doing well. I have my own radio show. They're 99 cents. Buy some new sponges." So here's the text message. I sent this text message to my wife. Now remember, I am the romantic one in our relationship. Text messaging is very romantic, and this is what I sent my wife. And you tell me if you think this is sweet or not, and then I'll tell you what she sent back to me. I said, "Last night, I saw Matt Damon on Piers Morgan's show, and Piers asked him, if you could go back and relive one moment in your life, what would it be? And I thought mine would be the moment after I met you. And we met in this beautiful scenic place in Europe when we were both hiking when we were in our 20s. And I said, and that, listen to this kicker, that is where I want my ashes to be spread." I texted my wife out of the blue that I wanted my ashes to be spread in the place we frickin' met. And she wrote back to me, "Matt Damon was on Piers Morgan last night?" All right. So I want to address you in a couple of different ways, in a couple of different roles that I have. But first of all, I want to address you as a member of the media. I'm spying on you. As a member of the media, I so have your back. I so have your back. I so believe in what you're doing. I'm going to be honest with you in that I'm uncomfortable now. What I just did, I was comfortable. That's what I do well, stand up. I'll do it in front of any audience, anywhere, anytime. Make it up as I go along, use things I've had, it'll go well usually. But I'm uncomfortable now, and the reason I'm uncomfortable now is because what you do every day is so inspiring and so challenging. And where we are in 2014, it's a very difficult situation. 7% in the private sector is organized labor. Correct me if I'm wrong. 30% in the public sector, if that. You guys work in what's called a right-to-work state, which makes it that much harder for you. I recently did a benefit for planning in America right now with income inequality and with the attack, as some of your speakers addressed on what you guys are doing. I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. But when I look at an event like this, that I'm so honored to have come down to Daytona Beach to just be a part of and to watch, I'm inspired. Read a couple quotes, not that I don't mean to be condescending, because you're the labor movement. I'm watching you. I'm not in it with you, but I'm watching you, I'm cheering you on, I'm supporting you, and I will continue to be a vessel for your voice as long as I have a microphone with a national audience or any audience. Here's the one thing that provides me with hope. And there's a number of people who have been in the labor movement tonight that I'm sure would agree with this. But it's this. Power goes to two poles. To those who've got the money, but more importantly, to those who've got the people. You're the people. That's it. You're getting beat the shit out of by the money all day, every day. You're the people. You don't have the money, but you have the people. And as we've seen in this country and in so many others, that's really how change occurs. When you have a movement. And that's what you are. How do you grow that movement? How do you talk to more people about that movement? Again, those are the challenges that you face. It was the labor movement that helped secure so much of what we take for granted today. The 40-hour work week, the minimum wage, family leave, health insurance, Social Security, Medicare, retirement plans, the cornerstones of the middle class security, all bear the union label. That's President Barack Obama. College internship there, because I was naive and I was young and that was a dream. I interviewed with hundreds of other young college students for the job, and I was sure I was going to get it because my personality and my answers to questions would be great. As soon as the interview was over, I realized I wasn't getting that job because it went by so quickly, and the guy asked me 2 questions. He was literally flirting with the other college student in a massively inappropriate way, and I don't remember his name. It was Matt Sykes. He's probably down the So what I did was, I knew I wasn't getting that job, so I wrote a follow-up letter. I didn't think that was going to make a difference. I said, it's all I can do. I'll write a follow-up letter. And 2 weeks later, the kid down the hall gets a big packet from Disney World College Program. You know, the big packet means you're in. And I get a little envelope. And it was so wrong. The world was so wrong because this kid was literally selling marijuana on campus. And I was like, doing everything right. And he's the one there inviting to Disney World. I could not believe it. And 2 weeks later, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my summer. And I get a phone call from Donna Dubel. This is 1991. I remember her name too. And she says, listen, I got your follow-up, I got your letter, and I'm crying. I'm crying. I go, why? Was it sad? She goes, no, it was so inspiring. She goes, listen, we don't have a lot of jobs left, but if you want to work fast food at Epcot, yes, I'm in. It was the worst job ever. But it was the best experience ever as well, in so many ways. When I went to college, I was terrified of people who were different than me. Mainly black people. Not terrified like scared, but how am I going to fit in? I don't know any black people. Grew up in an all-white, Dave Matthews loving Catholic town in upstate New York. And it was as if some other intervention was there because I get put with a black guy, my roommate. Couldn't have had anything less in common. He actually called me a white devil for the first 6 weeks. But my brother, who was so much more cultured and so much more open-minded than me, he said, find anything that seems that you're afraid of, anything that's different, and welcome that. And 3 years later, I was the best man at his wedding. And we had so much that we learned from each other. I'm getting to a point here, but I do have to tell the joke. Since this is such a great racially mixed audience, you'll appreciate it. Here's something black folks shouldn't do to white folks. They shouldn't make up things about black folks that aren't true just to mess with us. He actually said this to me. He said, black people don't have cats. What do you mean? Black people don't have cats. But I had so few relationships with black folks, I couldn't combat, I couldn't debunk that. I was literally thinking of fictional television shows Blackfoot. I was like, did Benson have a cat? He didn't have a cat. Did the Huxtables have a cat? Holy crap, dude. Maybe. He took it too far. He really said this to me. He goes, black people don't drink clear soda. I go, why? He goes, we don't trust it. What? 3 years later, I'm in this wedding. I felt like a marshmallow floating around a cup of hot cocoa. And he says, some reverse racism. Everybody thought I was the caterer. This old black guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, young man, let me get a Heineken. What you want, babe? And a Sprite. I go, a Sprite? And I learned that in college, you know, you learn way more in your relationships with people and your experiences about irrational fears, about bigotry, about anybody who's different. Old, young, black, white, gay, straight, religious, not. It doesn't matter. If you're not around people that are different, you're going to continue to have those irrational fears. And he invited me to that wedding. It was at Gun Hill Road in the Bronx. I was a little frightened. But then I invited him to go for a hike in the woods at my house one weekend. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I go, hey man, you want to go for a hike? He goes, hell no. I go, why? He goes, Freddy Krueger's up in there, man. What are you talking about? And what I bring that story up for is because, not that that's an issue here, but what I'm hoping for you to do, as a member of the media, I grew up upper middle class, but I didn't have, I wasn't, we weren't very wealthy necessarily. I didn't go to a very good college. I got my associate's degree. I never should have had the level of success that I've had in my career, but I have because I don't take no for an answer. And I knew what I wanted. And it's really an unbelievable experience that I've had. Last summer, I was in Aspen. And I went to the top of Aspen Mountain. I was at a dinner. I was in a group of people, like this group of people, except everybody was worth like millions and millions of dollars. At the Aspen Ideas Festival. I was so uncomfortable there. And they're all successful people, and we can try to figure out why. I don't know if it's worth it. But one thing that they said there, everybody had a name tag on, like you all do. And they said, this dinner is about getting to know each other. These super wealthy CEOs that I was spying on, to bring back the information to you, were networking. They were networking. That's what everybody has to do this weekend. So if you're sitting with people you know, if you're around people you know, around people that you're comfortable with, leave them behind. You already know them. You're already comfortable with them. Find the people that you don't know tomorrow and tonight at dessert. Don't talk to people that you know at dessert. You know them. You know what they do. You can reach out to them. You have their number. You have their email. Find the people you don't know. Find out what their strengths are, what they bring to the table. Keep in touch with them. Network with them. Find the people that they know. Find the people that they know. And no matter who they are, no matter how uncomfortable their job is or anything else, it doesn't matter. There's going to be some way to get to yes. So network with each other and network with everybody else regardless of who they are and what they have to offer. And lastly, I want to reiterate that while you're up against a very difficult challenge, especially here in Florida, there are so many people across the country that are in a similar boat. I talk to them every day on my radio show. They call my radio show. Andrew hears them all the time. People that are struggling, people that have ideas, people that want to capitalize on opportunities, people that are fighting apathy. That's what my show does. That's what I'm trying to do, is fight apathy, my own and everybody else's. You're not alone. There's so many other people out there with you. Remember that. Remember how much you inspire so many of us as we watch the work that you're doing. When I look around this room, I would way, and I mean this, and I hope that you can believe it, I would way rather spend time with this group of people than with that group of people at the top of Aspen. I think that what you have to offer with your life's experience and the struggles and the challenges that you face, and most importantly, the reason that you do it, it's not to get rich. It's for the future of America, for our kids. And for that, I just cannot thank you enough. And so in closing, I want to applaud you in a little different way. We are in the midst of the Hollywood Award season, right? You guys watch the Golden Globes. By the way, why does Jonah Hill keep winning awards? Who the hell is this kid? Robert Redford's not even nominated. I'm very upset. It's just so weird to me to watch actors and actresses get awards and go up and accept their awards for acting. They're acting. I've done a little acting, and I'm here to tell you, it is really easy. It's not at all strenuous. The hours are not difficult. You need little to no education. It's not even that respectable. What you guys are doing, however, I would love to see a reality show where all those actors and actresses present you with the awards. And so here's what I want to do. I want to do our own mini award show. Okay? So if you are an educator, if you're a teacher, I want you to stand up. If you're a teacher, I want you to stand up. Way more important than anything any actor's done. Thank you very much for what you do. Keep it going, a little bit more for them. Come on. Who would you like to thank? I bet it's not your agent. Hold on, right here, right down the middle. What do you teach? What do you teach? This woman in the, I want to say that's a teal. Is that teal? Yes. Teal shirt. What's your name? Vanessa. Vanessa, what do you teach? I work with students with autism. That must be easy. Hold on. You will stay standing. And you will be respected. What do you teach? Math. You know, you can sit down. No. Sit down, sir. That was just personal. You killed me. It's actually the good teacher, the math teacher, that helped me figure it out. I was this kid. Arm brace. Please. What do you teach? Media specialist. Ooh. How am I doing? What do you teach?
4th grade.
4th grade, like my mom. Here's the thing about 4th grade teachers. They teach every subject. Every subject, right? She teaches media, he teaches math. Now here's the difference though. Not that one is better. Critical thinking, I meant to mention that. If you want to know the answer to something, find an expert. Find an expert. So if I want to know math, I'm going to him. If I want to go media, I'm going to her. If I want to know something about 4th graders or everything, I'm going to her. That's important. 4th grade teachers kind of know everything. This gentleman right here, what do you teach?
8th grade social studies.
Ooh, I love it.
History. History.
I'm going to give you 2 more randoms. We're applauding you for this award show. These 2, quickly, what do you teach?
Reading.
Reading! What grade level?
9.
Huh?
9.
9th grade? They're still learning to read at 9th grade? All right. All right. Hey, I'm still learning to read right now. Yes?
9th grade.
Is that why you guys are sitting together? That's BS. Separate these 2 right here. See, I need her with the 4th grade teacher. You know, you 2, go ahead.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers, we learned that. One more, right here.
Special needs pre-K.
Special needs pre-K. Hopefully we'll have universal pre-K. Go ahead. What are the other, Andrew? Just quickly, I would love to just address if there's any other large constituents. I've heard there was going to be teachers' aides and bus drivers, and you know, by the way, you know, we can appreciate. I appreciate so much anybody who is with my daughters for more than a few minutes. So they have a bus driver. I don't know why you're laughing. They sound like trouble. Just the idea that someone is with my kids taking... I never knew till this year how amazing a bus driver can be. Jim is the most amazing bus... So in his bus, on the roof of the bus, there's pictures that all of the kids made for him. And he sent home pastries. And they made me sick. But he's a great guy. So, what else? Was there another big group that we can...
Clerical.
Where are the clerical people? Oh my God, what a thankless... Huh?
Clericals and paraprofessionals.
Clericals and paraprofessionals, stand up right now. If you're a clerical and paraprofessional. These people on the glue. This is your award show right here. Stand up. And to all of the people that are going to be teaching you, and the union leaders and organizers that have come, stand up. Because you guys, go ahead, if you're working with or around the unions, is that everybody else? Go ahead, stand up, and we'll give you guys a round of applause right now as well. Hopefully my star will rise, not because, again, I'm not driven by or motivated by the money. My motivation now is more time with my family. I do my radio show from home, but hopefully my star will rise because with my exposure, getting more exposure, I'm going to do a lot more of this. I'm going to be addressing so many more organized labor issues. I try to buy only things that are made and manufactured by organized labor. I try to be the change that I want to see in the world. Thank you so much for inviting me down here. I'll take your story back on the radio. You all can have my email. You all can contact me. If there's some other member of the media that you'd like to get through, I'm your ally. I'm your teammate. You inspire me, and I hope you have a great weekend. And the best of luck to all of you, because I know that you're our future. And we thank you so much for what you do. And there's so many other people out there that aren't here tonight that really, really appreciate it, because you guys are the most important part of America and certainly of Florida. Thank you guys very much. Have a great weekend. And good night. I'm looking forward to dessert.
Thanks, Pete. So we are now going to move to dessert. Kendra, we have where are the drink tickets?
They're in my purse.
So Kendra is going to get a head start. Make sure you get a drink ticket on the way in. Again, the dessert reception is sponsored by Creative Benefits and the Partners Ballot, American Fidelity, Liberty Mutual, and Jackson Hewitt. So enjoy the dessert reception. Come. Pete, are you going to be in the dessert reception if they want to just chat with you a little bit?
I'm going to be jogging on the beach. No, of course.
So if you want to come and talk with Pete a little bit, and let's all have some good time. And then we'll see you back here tomorrow morning for breakfast between 7 and 8, the first session at 8.
Is he there?